We live through the biggest economic crisis since World War II. COVID-19 affects almost all countries on our planet. Due to the massive travel restrictions of the Czech and other governments, the EFTA board was forced to postpone the EFTTEX of this year to 2021. This situation affects the EFTA very seriously, as all the lobbying work at the European Union is financed by the income from the yearly EFTTEX. That worked out fine until COVID-19 came along. Many of our exhibitors are requesting that they be given refunds rather than seeing EFTTEX postponed. This demand is understandable in these difficult economic times. Article 10.I of our contract clearly states that in case of force majeure, any refund of payments to the exhibitors is at the absolute discretion of the organizer. This contract states that in the present situation we are free to decide if we want to give refunds or not. In other words, we are not obliged to pay refunds to our exhibitors or even to postpone EFTTEX to next year. Despite that, the board of the EFTA has decided to postpone EFTTEX 2020 to 2021. All contracts remain valid, the show just takes place 1 year later. This is, in our eyes, the fairest solution we could adopt for our clients. They do not lose their money, the show just takes place 1 year later. We had been thinking of simply cancelling the show and giving refunds to our exhibitors. But as our fiscal year runs from October to September, we would only have been able to refund about half of the invested money before facing severe financial troubles ourselves. Most of our exhibitors would have deeply disliked that, so it was never an option, as we really tried to behave in the fairest possible manner under these difficult circumstances. Please bear in mind that if we start to give refunds to some exhibitors, we will not be able to deliver a show in 2021. This is why the EFTA board has taken the decision to postpone the show without giving refunds to any exhibitors. In this way, our exhibitors get the show they have paid for just 1 year later, but at least the EFTA can continue the precious lobbying work at the European Union's Commission in these difficult times. And these times are not only difficult because of COVID-19, but also because the European Union has declared a war against plastic litter. EFTA welcomes this war, it is a necessary one. But this war heavily affects the future of recreational angling, and not only because of the use of plastic hard and soft baits. The European Union's Commission is currently working on a ban of single-use plastic. Last autumn, plastic fishing lines were listed as single-use plastic on that ban list. Nylon lines and braided lines are both made of plastic polymers and therefore risk being banned if they remain on this list. Due to the work of the EFTA, plastic fishing lines have been taken off that list, but this does not mean that they will not reappear there again somewhere in the future. This example might help to understand the importance of EFTA's work in Brussels. It is a long-lasting and continuous work, but indispensable for the healthy future of the European fishing industry. For this work, we need the full support of all the players which are involved in the angling industry. Surviving 1 year without any income will be very difficult for EFTA and EFTTEX teams. That will only be possible with severe and painful cost cuttings. We sit in the same boat as our members. COVID-19 is giving all of us hard times. Complaining does not help. We have to stay positive and make the best out of the situation. We need to stand united in that struggle. Any hostility among us would harm our future. Thank you very much for your understanding. We wish you all the best for you and your companies, and I'm looking forward to meeting you next year in Prague.